Well, hi, welcome back, and time for another update. Going very well at the moment. We've got a few detailed things that we're doing here. We've got some ballast pumps. These are the ones which help us to drain the ballast tanks on the boat. If we're sailing along and the boat is flat, we can put the scoops down. The scoops are what get water into the boat, and then you can turn them around and they exhaust the water out of the boat. But if you're moving slowly and you need to empty the tanks, you have these ballast pumps, which are, well, they're bilge pumps that have been then put the end piece on, which makes them live well pumps, but then we're using them for pumping ballast out. Not such a big deal. They all working fine, but then finding out that these hoses, which are the connection hoses, which have been running water in and out for however many years the boat's been around, like massively blocked up by 5200s. There's some of the apertures on these. I'm not sure if there's one now that we can tell it on, but some of them reduced by a third to a half by lots of 5200 squeezed inside them, so they're going to run a lot better. What else we got going on? We've got all of the spares now for the boat are all packed into these boxes. Consumables, electrical, engine, instruments, composite repair, ballast and plumbing, mast, boom and blocks. So we've got those pretty much worked out. There are others that are on the boat, and there are others that are in the other part of the barn here. But we've got a really nice set of spares, way more than I ever had for any other circumnavigation, so I'm pretty happy about that. We've got the tiller off. The tiller's about to get a new coat of clear coat. Carbon fibre, of course, super light, great condition, just needs to be recoated. And then here we have one of the dagger boards. The dagger board's obviously slotting down, giving us that lateral resistance that allows the boat to have this fantastic upwind performance. Nothing particularly special about these compared to other Open 60s dagger boards. In fact, now we've got big curved dagger boards on Open 60s. We've got boats which are lifting up into almost semi-foiling situation. But these boards, long, solid, and part of a system which I think is a little unusual. Fixed keel with dagger boards. You don't normally get that. It means we're going to have fantastic grip. These just basically need a quick, they need to be taken to 400 grit and smoothed off, and then they're going to be resprayed with epoxy so they're nice and white. There's no damage to them, there's no issue. They've just gone sign of slightly cream, as have quite a lot of other things on the boat. What else are we doing? Well, it's down to the boat now, and we're going to be having a look round. Let me take you for a walk down to the dock and show you the rest of it. Okay, here we are down on the dock, and a beautiful day today. We're getting a lot of little jobs done. We've got the furniture out of the cabin at the moment. The engine cover's out. We've got a couple of jibs that are just ready to go back on board. We've got ourselves our gangway. Look, we've actually got some wheels. Look, it's actually it's like organised, and it's guided, and it's not moving around all over the place. That's good. But we're now getting to the point where we're clean enough. We've actually got deck protection down so that we can stop the decks from getting completely and utterly covered in crap, because unsurprisingly, when you've got to walk down through the woods to get to the boat, you can end up with quite a lot of crap on your feet. So yeah, boat's looking nice and tidy. Obviously still, we've not done our rope yet. We've still got 6 weeks to go before I have to go anywhere, so rope comes next, but we're getting the hull done at the moment. The top of the coffee grinder is off because we're going to be clear coating the grinder today. And we've also decided to go back and repaint this arch. It's something that you really see when you come onto the boat, and it had all sorts of weird bits of like non-slip decking stuck in the paint, and it just looked a mess. So Mike sanded it all back down. So we're going to be repainting here today, repaint the door, repaint inside those little shelves, and clear coat that. We're also going to repaint the bottom of the cockpit. So this afternoon is going to be a bit of painting. It feels a bit like going backwards, but you want to get it right. Sometimes you do a job just to get it done, and then you want to go back and get it cleared up later on. So inside here, the engine bay is now opened up, and Ken and Jason are stripping the engine down as far as they can reasonably. The engine's fine, there's no issues with it, but they're going to strip it back, and then they're going to repaint it because the engine is 20 years old. I remember the boat was sat in storage for 14 years, so the paint's just sitting there like getting ready to fall off, and as soon as you take it to sea and it's got some water around it, boom, all the paint falls off. So they're doing that, but we can see also here now the main ballast pump that's inside here. That's going to get reconditioned at the same time. So we've got an afternoon of painting out there, and then this is ongoing. It's Monday now, so this will be looking that by the end of the week the engine will be completely done, the engine bay will be painted, the ballast pump will be serviced and we'll have everything going. We've got our bunks in now. These are the covers for the engine bay. There's the bed, like from the navigation area. We've got the cover for the jib. We've got some new dock lines. We've got the beanbag, which is very important in case I need to go and sit in the cockpit. We've got a nice tidy wall here now with all the electronics put back in place, and we've got some tools and what have you, which is part of what we're doing today. The jobs. Oh look, Ken's. I do appreciate that he's actually put blankets down though, so we're moving to a whole other level here. It's a bit messy, but it's a tidy kind of messy. So batteries are exposed. This is the electrical area. We haven't really looked in here much before. Let me just put a light on. Oh, of course. I come in here and the electrics are turned off. This is the back of the electrical panel. It looks like the end of the world, but it's kind of how it has to look. There's a lot of stuff going on here, and some people try and make these like super duper neat and put zip ties on every little bit. You can't get anything off. It's better just to do service loops and a couple ties, and you can get in and you can change things. We're also, luxury upon luxuries, putting in a toilet. So there's going to be a toilet on board the boat, which I've never had when I did the solo thing before. So I'm very excited about that. We've also started to clean up this surface. There's a carbon workbench here. This canopy kind of comes down and then has a shape which makes it stick right out onto the end of this bench. But the thing with this bench is that it's actually useful for fixing things and repairing things, and I'm a big believer in having a little workshop area on the boat if you can stand the size. So I'm going to mount a vise, or have the ability to mount a vise on here, and then I can actually work. But that means that instead of having a canopy that comes right out down to this edge, we want to have a canopy that comes flat down to about here, so there's no way that anything I'm grinding or working with can get mixed up in the electrical cabinet. But it's in the center of the boat. It's easy to brace myself. It would be a good position to have a little workbench. Through into the bow, got a lot of tools out here now. Mike has been completely overhauling the forward ballast system, which normally sits in here. We've got all the transfer pipes that take the water from the intakes into the tanks and helps you transfer it from tank to tank. So there's a lot of stuff been going on there to make sure everything's absolutely fine. It is, there's no issues, it all works fine. All seals new done, all Jubilee clips redone. New ballast pumps going into the forward tanks. Thanks for those who have been contributing either by joining me on Patreon or through the GoFundMe. This is exactly, we ordered 2 new bilge pumps. It was $200 US. They're going in there as soon as they arrive tomorrow. New Jubilee clips, new paint for this area. Everything that comes through the GoFundMe is going directly into operationally getting the boat going with no fat on the bone at all. So Mike's been working hard. You see I had to draw out the ballast system there so that he understood how it worked. Coming from normal sailing boat, you don't normally have the ability to put 6 tons of ballast in the boat, so we've got that. But this area is done. Like forward of there, that hole that goes up through there, that is going into the front 20 foot of the boat, and it's just empty space. It's all sealed. All the bilge pumps are all sorted out in there. The ballast tanks will be sorted as soon as Mike, we're going to finish just painting this area, just get a nice coat of paint in there, and then we're going to put everything in, seal everything up on the ballast system, and that's the front 30 foot of the boat. Here's the mast, or the compression post under the mast. The front 30 foot of the boat is done, and then the electrical space, that's going to be done. We're going to put that new cover on here, put a vise on, and put the pipes on for the toilet, and then there's going to be new batteries. We have 6 new Type 27 batteries going in, which give us power. The lads will have the engine rebuilt, and well, not rebuilt, but repainted by the end of the week. And this is Monday now, so 5 days that'll all be done. And then basically this whole area, well, the cabin, the electrical space, the forepeak, the front of the boat, it's all done. So then it's just a case of we're going to go in here, which is the ballast room. The ballast room is where we've got the controls for the main ballast tanks. You see these 4 large pipes that go to 2 enormous tanks on either side of the boat. So the boat can put 4 tons of ballast in, which is like having 70 or 80 people sitting on the side of the boat, like helping to stiffen it up. This is where it comes in and goes out. It's all been cleaned up and tied up in here now. So we've got the primer in. We want to then get the paint in, so it's nice and clean and tidy. But again, it's just having this amount of time now where we can do things. It's fantastic to be able to tidy things up as much as we would like. And say it does feel a little bit like going backwards, where you're like coming back and repainting this area out here, and and taking the grinder apart again to do it. But yeah, all the winches are serviced now, the grinder's serviced, like everything is fully operational. The boat crossed the Atlantic with me 2 years ago. There's nothing less now than it was, so this will be able to take things to the next standard. But the thing that we really need to do now is we've got to get the rigging replaced, and it's getting really, really close. I've been in contact with a couple of people who maybe have the funds to make that happen. The quote we've got is 50,000 euros to replace the rigging on this boat, and people say to me, how can it be so expensive? Unfortunately, a 100-foot mast is already a big mast, and the loads that are on these things, the PBO in here, when it's sitting at 18 mil like this, can hold 22,000 kilos. That's what, 50,000 pounds. So it's unbelievably strong stuff, and yet it is a synthetic fiber. It's not metal. We've got metal turnbuckles here, but this is a synthetic fiber. And when you're replacing all of this, it gets extremely expensive. So once the engine's tidied up and a few aesthetic things done here, what we want to be doing is taking the mast off and then putting the new standing rigging on, and at that point we'll put the new running rigging on. That's the ropes on the deck, and then we've got ourselves a boat. But that's the hurdle to get over. So if you've got any clever ideas of anybody that might be interested to sponsor, or you want to do something to yourself to help me out, go and have a look at the GoFundMe page. Every little bit's helping. I literally bought ballast pumps this morning based on the fact that people have put some donations in through GoFundMe. The Patreon thing, these updates go onto there, as does the blog, as does everything else. So any little bit you can do, just drop me a line if you've got an idea. If you've got rich Uncle Bulgaria likes putting money into race boats, then get him to give me a shout, because I can definitely help him out. But yeah, that's all for now, and I'll give you an update later on when we've got that engine back together, or any other fantastic things. Cheers.